Okay, welcome back. And as we take a moment to remember service members who have lost their lives fighting for us in the U.S. Armed Forces, we also want to acknowledge the importance of mental health among current active service members and veterans. An annual Wounded Warrior Project survey found 1 in 4 warriors faced suicidal thoughts in the past year, and 66% of them feel lonely. Well, this Mental Health Awareness Month, the Wounded Warrior Project trained several local groups to notice the signs of suicide. Wounded Warrior Project Chief Program Officer Jennifer Silva is joining us now here in studio. Jennifer, thank you for being here to talk about this very important issue.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm really grateful that we have the platform to talk about this very important issue that obviously affects veterans, but also just the world at large. So thank you.
Absolutely. It affects so many of us. So can you walk us through, tell us a little bit more about the Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training and who all takes part in it? Can you shed some light?
Sure. Suicide prevention has always been a priority for Wounded Warrior Project, and this training is a 2-day workshop where we train people to recognize the signs of immediate suicide risk. And so you learn how to spot it, how to talk to that person, and how to develop a safety plan. And so we were able to train local officers from the Jacksonville Beach Police Department, JSO, and also our very strong partner, CSX, who has trained their teammates and also their police force.
What are some of the key takeaways that people who participate in the training can walk away with? What are some of the key things?
Sure. So it's okay to ask directly, have you had thoughts of suicide? Some people think that's a pretty tough question to ask, but you're not putting the thought in their head. It actually shows that you're listening, which is a very important tool for suicide prevention, to show that you're listening. So tools like that, also the 988 crisis lifeline is a very important tool as well. And just having the conversation and not being afraid to ask direct questions about it shows that you can engage with them, and then you can develop a plan where they can feel safe.
I think you said something very important there. You said the L word. You said listen. It's important to listen and not judge when asking these tough questions. So what are some specific warning signs that people should look out for if they suspect that one of their loved ones is experiencing this?
Well, if there's a change in behavior, that can be something that can be a risk. If they're isolating, a lot of warriors that we work with, as you stated, the stats, over 60% feel lonely. That can be a huge suicide risk factor as well. If there's different stressors in their life, big changes in life events, perhaps a divorce or financial stress, those types of things, you need to be there and listen and to help them feel that they're not alone. Also, we have a campaign called Combat Stigma, and it talks about decreasing the stigma to getting help. And so making sure that you can share, it's okay to go get help. And so they feel like it's actually a really strong position to be able to go ask for help and get it. So we talk about that very directly in all of our programs to make sure that peers make it safe to go get help and engage in those conversations.
So what advice would you have for maybe family and friends and loved ones of someone experiencing this? They're in that position. What advice do you have?
Well, talk about it. Sometimes there can be shame in this, and so we don't need it to be hidden. What we need to do is talk about it. I'm concerned about my loved one, to friends and family or to other resources, in ensuring that they have a trusted friend who can kind of help guide them into getting help. We find that peer connection with the veterans that we serve is very, very important. And we highlight stories where these really strong veterans have gotten help, and those are very powerful examples where they can see themselves in that, and then it makes it okay to get help.
Thank you so much for your time to talk about this very important issue, not just this weekend, but all year round.
Exactly. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.